This is the SAMD21 Mangler. Each kit comes with a PCB with all of the components already assembled on the board. It comes with a base for the PCB to sit in, a clip for the front and the back to hold the base in place, two IC jigs to hold the SAMD21 chips in place. The second jig is just a spare. Let's have a look at how the board works. The jig for the IC has got 4 legs on it. It's got a round leg and 3 square legs. The square legs go into the square holes, the round leg goes into the round hole. The round leg is designed to indicate where pin 1 is on the IC. So let's grab an IC, we'll place it onto the board with pin 1 in the correct location, get it roughly in place. We'll take our jig, make sure the orientation is correct, and then all we need to do is just massage the chip into place. It's as simple as that. We'll grab our Atmel ice and we will plug that in. And as you can see, we've got a red light indicating that the ice is turned on, but it's not recognizing the board right now. And we'll grab our USB power and connect that to the SAMD21. And now you can see on the ice, we've got a green light indicating we have power on the board and it's found the board. So now all I have to do is hold the jig in place quite firmly, because obviously there's no solder holding the chip to the pads, so we're going to use pressure to make good contact. Okay, so now we're just going to choose the SAMD21G 18A from the list and click apply. And we're going to now click read, which reads the chip. As you can see, the 2 little green lights have come on the board. They are the transmission lines between the chip and the Atmel ice. That indicates that we've got communication both ways. Now I just need to click on memories and click program. And off it goes and it's done. And you might have seen the little green lights flash very briefly. If I click verify, you might see them flash again. But that's it. There's now a bootloader on the SAMD21. So let's just unplug that and pull the USB cable out. So as I mentioned, I had to put quite a bit of pressure onto the jig to hold it in place to make sure there was good contacts on the pins. This jig is designed with quite tight tolerances, but not too tight, because I don't want to do any damage to the chip. I don't want to bend any of the pins, so occasionally you might have to wiggle the jig around to make sure the chip is in the correct place. There are holes on top of the jig to make it easier to pop the chip out if the chip, for whatever reason, stays connected to the jig, but you should also be able to just pull the jig off and see that the chip is in pretty good alignment. And that's it. That IC is now got a bootloader on it, so I could either program it via the Arduino IDE using the USB header here, or I could use that chip now on a different development board that doesn't have an ICE header, or in a kit if I'm sending out for other people who also don't have an Atmel ice to be able to put a bootloader on the chip.